This is the very boring sermon. Simple thumb will do. This is the third sermon this year in a series of sermons based on some of my favourite Facebook groups. The first one was the Pylon Appreciation Society. The second was about men with beards. And today it's based on the group that I find the most satisfying, the very boring group. And in this group there are 39 rules and accompanying sub-rules that everybody should follow. I've carefully written this sermon to avoid breaking rule 16, which is no religion and politics. So, in the name of the Boring Overlord, Sir Dave, that's not me, CEO, humble dictator, Chief Executive Amy Tinkford, our dear leader, the most boringest. I came across a book. It's a book made up of 66 smaller books. Now let me tell you that the Greek word for books in the plural is biblios, and it's where we get the word Bible from. And I was looking through the titles in this book, and I was interested to find one book called the Book of Job. Now, I've not read it, but it made me think of all the different jobs I've had. First job I had was at primary school, where I was asked to be the crisp monitor. So every break I used to sell crisps in the schoolyard. I also had a part-time night job as in a parcel delivery firm when I was in my early 20s. Then I worked for Birmingham Rathbone, working with adults with learning difficulties, and now I work at Sandwell College. There were other jobs that you might be able to think of. Please don't say them out loud. Prime Minister, barista, refuse collector, bank clerk. I'd ask you to shout out different jobs that you can think of, but I won't, because Rule 13 of the very boring group says not to invite people to participate. Another book in this book of books was the Book of Numbers. I've not read it, but it made me think of all the different numbers. Maybe an infinite amount of numbers. 3, 7, 1,000,005, 75, 76, 132. I could go on, but I won't. Which brings us on to the book for today, the Book of Ruth. I've not read it, but it made me think of all the different Ruths I've known before. I used to know someone called Ruth in the town that I was growing up in Earlstown. She played the guitar. She was really nice. I play the guitar now. Maybe that's because I used to play music with Ruth in Earlstown. I used to know a woman called Ruth who lived in Handsworth, and she was very nice too. There was another Ruth that I knew who was the volunteer coordinator for a theatre production I was part of. Now she's the general manager. She was nice. I bumped into her last year in town. I saw Ruth. I said to Ruth, "Oh, hello." She said, "Hello, David." I said to Ruth, "How are you?" And she said, "Fine, thanks. How are you?" I said, "Fine, thanks." It was really nice to see her. Hopefully I'll bump into her again sometime. There was also a Ruth who is part of the Birmingham Opera Company, and she actually lives near me, and she's really nice too. I've got 4 people called Ruth on Facebook. And it's funny, I've noticed that all the people called Ruth that I've known in my life are really nice. I don't know if all the Ruths in the world are nice, but certainly the Ruths I've known are nice. And I'd like to be nice like them. Now, which brings me on to my last Ruth, and her name is Ruth Maddock. You might not know her, but she was born in 1943 in Wales. She was famous for her role as Gladys Pugh in a comedy called Heidi High. Heidi High was set in a holiday camp called Maplings. She was the chief yellowcoat, sports organiser and radio announcer. Now, you might be thinking now, David, that's not boring, that's exciting. You're talking about comedy. You might be saying, whoa, David, hang on, that printout is in colour. Surely that breaks the rules. No, of course it doesn't. Colours are everyday, common, all around us. I see colours all the time. They are not, in themselves, exciting or interesting. Now, I found it interesting to find out that one of my favourite musicals, called Fiddler on the Roof, also had Ruth Maddock. I only learned that this week. She was through Miss Sarah, and if you look that up on the internet, you can find out the story of Fiddler on the Roof. Now, Fiddler on the Roof is about a Jewish man called T.O.O.T.H who's trying to marry off his daughters. But they all want to marry the people they love. Fru Miss Sarah is the wife of Laser Wolf. Laser Wolf is an older man who's one of T.O.O.T.'s daughters promised to be married to. Fru Miss Sarah is Laser Wolf's late wife, played by Ruth Maddock. Now, I've heard in the Book of Ruth, the Book of Ruth is about a woman called Ruth who promises to follow her mother-in-law wherever she goes. Now, her mother-in-law told her to go home, but Ruth was adamant that she should follow her. And that made me think, what would it be like for Ruth to follow me this morning? Well, if Ruth followed me this morning, she would have left my house at 9:03. We'd have got to the bus stop at 9:14. The next bus that was going to take me to where I wanted to go to was going to be in 10 minutes. The bus came at 9:24. It went down the Hagley Road. It went across 5 ways, down Broad Street, turned left at Sheepcote Street, right onto Vincent Street, and then it bared right on Summer Row, then left onto Smallbrook Queensway. I arrived at Colmore Road at 9:35. At 9:40, I went to Costa Coffee Shop to write my notes for this sermon. I left at 10:17, then if Ruth was with me, she would have walked down Livery Street, underneath the subway, turned right onto Church Street, and she would have got here at 10:40. I was also thinking of words that rhyme with Ruth. For example, truth rhymes with Ruth. Booth rhymes with Ruth. Some people say booth, some people say booth. Sleuth rhymes with Ruth. And also, tooth rhymes with Ruth. Now, you might be thinking, why have you chosen to print out a picture of a tooth out of all the words that rhyme with Ruth? I've chosen tooth because it stands for T.O.O.T.H, the Order of the Humdrum. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the sermon, I said I've carefully written this sermon to avoid breaking Rule 16, no religion or politics. But there is one exception, one religion which I can talk about this morning, which is tooth, the Order of the Humdrum. Humdrum means commonplace, boring, drab, dreary, dull, monotonous, mundane, pedestrian, tedious, tiresome, uninteresting. My favourite word out of that list is mundane. Mundane comes from the Latin word mundus, which means the world. And if you're ever thinking about changing religion or finding a new religion, why not choose tooth, where in the religion of tooth we aim to be boring, because sometimes the world is too exciting. There's an old proverb that goes, "May you live in interesting times." Now, this proverb isn't something that you say to somebody you like, a friend. You might say this to someone you don't like. May you live in interesting times. Because living in interesting times sometimes isn't the best time to live in. Because if you read the newspapers, things are very exciting and very interesting. Some people say too exciting. I say, why don't we all join the religion tooth and have a boring and peaceful life? Thank you. Have a day.